WA-based Aphrodite Gold floated on the ASX today with a slightly disappointing start price of 17.5 cents. The company raised just below $9.5 million in an IPO, with shares issued at 20 cents. However, Finance Director Ryder says Aphrodite is a long-term investment and he's confident of a profitable company once production starts in 2012. He sat down with the Business Channel's Tom Connell earlier, who started by asking him how he viewed early trading for the newly floated company.
Early trading, a little bit down. Don't forget there's a 1 for 2 free option attached to the shares. So initial IPO shareholders are not far away from par.
So what price did Aphrodite Gold start at?
I think about 7.5, 18 cents. I got to tell you, it's not my job to check that. My job is to get on with what's happening in the field.
How were you able to complete the purchase of Apex despite not being the highest bidder?
Simple. Apex were keen to maintain an interest in the project, so they wanted a one project corporation, and they wanted their shareholders, Apex shareholders, to have a right to take up shares in the IPO, which we agreed to, and we worked together on that, and that worked very, very well.
Well, the $9.5 million raised from your recent IPO will be used to explore and develop your project near Kalgoorlie. Tell us, are there any indications on what that project might be worth?
Well, yes there are, but it's very difficult to say. I mean, how much is the cost of extracting gold and what is the sale price? Clearly and most indicatively is the fact that this project's been owned by very high-powered corporations, including Barrick Mines, when it was simply a function of the gold price. It wouldn't work at $300 or $400 an ounce.
There have been some high-profile IPOs shelved of late, including Valemus and ATF. What made the timing right for Aphrodite Gold?
Simple. As I said exactly, it is a function of the gold price. We've got low-grade gold, but there's a lot of it there. It's been established. There's an established inferred resource of 1 million ounces, or near 1 million ounces. There's enormous potential to establish more, but when you've got a gold price below $700 or $800, then it's just not there.
Well, you mentioned gold price again. Tell us, what is the gold price you need to break even or indeed turn a profit?
I don't think we're allowed to tell you that, but I think a common rule of thumb is that if you're looking at 2 gram open pit resource, you'd be looking at about $700 as a general rule in the industry. And so at $1,400, obviously Australian price, then obviously you're looking at a tremendous profitability.
Tell us about your time frame. When are you hoping to get to production?
Obviously as soon as possible, but we're already in drilling now, and that's coming together very well. 2012.
Wayne, tell us, what are your long-term goals for Aphrodite Gold? How big do you want to become, and where can you expand?
There are 4 sources for gold for Aphrodite. The open pitable areas that we're now drilling, the underground resource below that, which is much higher grade. Thirdly, there are areas on the Aphrodite project that have only had 1 or 2 drill holes, but have produced extremely high grades. And of course there are adjoining areas to us and other companies not too far away that have projects that would like to join us.
You must have been keeping a close eye on the RSPT. Are you happy to see it scrapped?
Of course I'm happy to see it scrapped. I didn't understand it in the first place, and I've spoken about it before. It made no sense. To destroy the miners of this country simply to try and balance a budget is not a way to go.
Well, Wayne, you are a Liberal Party member. I'll ask you to wear your Aphrodite Gold hat. Tell us, are you happy with being left out of the negotiations by Julia Gillard being a small mining player as opposed to the big ones that she dealt with?
In this case, at the end of the day, probably not. I was a great spokesperson for saying if you were going for a super profits, which they wanted to call it, but I notice they've now dropped that, then you would have to be looking at over $100 million. And I notice in the latest round that at least even for the oil companies and coal companies, they've gone to $50 million. But for companies like Aphrodite, that would have excluded them too.
Finally, Wayne, Aphrodite Gold would seem to be a long-term investment for shareholders. When do you think some price surges might start to happen?
We're looking at 2012 to get into production. We're stable, settled. We're a one-project company. We will not be diversing into other minerals or metals, but we may be looking at acquiring or buying into interest in gold around us in this area in the north.